Hello, guys. So this is Lalit this side, and so the whole idea about this YouTube channel and these videos are to give an insight about trading for the beginners. And I myself, I'm a beginner when it comes to stock market, and I want to give a insight and a, guide you through the steps to starting trading. I wouldn't consider myself to be an expert in this field, but yeah, I do have a year and a half experience. To give a heads up about myself, I'm a student. I'm 19 years old. I study at St. Joseph's College of Commerce, and one of my main hobbies is to do trading. And as a student, as a college student, especially during lockdown, one has a lot of time to sit at home and analyze the stock market, the news, etc. And I think that's one of the main reasons why I got into this and made it my hobby. And this is a hobby worth to have. So let me start off by explaining to you how I started and how why you need to trade in the first place. So what's the importance of trading and importance of knowing your stock market basics? So first thing is a generic common sense. If you are a commerce student especially, you need to know about business, and stock market is like the heart of the capital market, and it's all about how companies are going to raise capital. To give you an insight about why you need trading at this early age of 19, 20, 21, is because to be independent, because not everybody gets high paying stipended articleships or internships. And I think that's very important to realize the essence of not being dependent on somebody else for your financial needs, maybe for partying or for from as simple as your pocket money. So this is why another reason all of us must start trading. And yeah, so let's go. I think it's time to start our discussion. So the first thing, where to start trading and how much to start with and how does the process work. So first of all, for those beginners who don't know what stock market is, so shares are basically ownership in a company. So when you need to raise capital as a company, you don't know who is going to give you money. So you break down the capital into small shares and issue these shares to public. So the public subscribes to these shares, and probably that's when you get capital. So the public subscribes to these shares and gives money, and you give them ownership of your company in return. So this is how the stock market works. And once you successfully go through an IPO, which is an initial public offer of the shares get listed in the stock market. It's basically a market, as you learn in your basic schooling, is about a place or a internet or a source to where you're going to buy and sell anything. And that stock market is where you buy and sell capital stuff. So it can be debentures, it can be anything, any securities in that sense. And one of the securities is your share market, which I'm going to discuss about. And in these few hours, I'm going to teach you about how to go about with the stock market. So where do you exactly trade? So initially you had physical copies, agreements of stock market. So if I would sell it to you a share and you would pay me, we had to get into agreements and all that. But now everything is generalized. Everything happens electronically through something called a demat account. So the demat account can be opened with any of the apps that are available in the Play Store for trading. So if you're looking for trading in small volumes, you can go for less commission apps like Upstocks, or it can be Zerodha, Sharekhan, Angel Broking app. So all these apps are pure security trading apps, which you can download, and I'll even guide you through the process. And once you download, you need to sign up, etc. Or if you're going for high volumes, I mean, say as a student, keeping a 20-year-old in mind, if you're crossing your threshold of 25, 30,000 rupees, then I think it's better to associate with a bank. So when I say associate with a bank, probably open your demat account with a company which has its own bank. To give a very simple example, HDFC. HDFC has HDFC Securities and HDFC Bank. So both are subsidiaries of the same company. So when you open your demat in HDFC Securities, the account gets connected to the savings bank account in your HDFC bank. And the advantage of this is whenever you need to spend money, the money is directly deducted from your saving bank's account. And whenever you need to sell your stocks and you sell it through your demat account, you get the money back into your savings bank account. So another advantage of the second thing is that you won't keep your money idle in the demat account. So after 2 or 3 days, the money automatically gets transferred to your savings bank account, and you will get interest on it based on the rules of the bank. And another disadvantage of the system is that these are not specific stock trading apps. So if if you aren't specific about selecting the bank and and the security company, you might land up in a bank or an app or the demat environment which is not very conducive to online trading. So the very few of them which are conducive to online trading are Kotak Mahindra, HDFC, and ICICI. And I'm not sure if there are better online platforms. If you're going to go for banks which are less privatized and less known, they might not have a very good internet platform for you to trade at. So keep these two things in mind. To summarize, if you're going for small volumes, you can go for apps like Upstock, Zerodha, etc. on Play Store. If you're going for huge volumes, then the companies which are associated with the respective banks. Now, how do you exactly open this demat account? So I personally have my demat account in HDFC Securities. So the advantage of having in HDFC, I've already told you guys, it's so simple and so smooth. You have your HDFC Securities app, and it's wonderful. A little con is that the amount of commission that you'll end up paying is a little more because of the amount of services you're getting in return, but it's worth it, to be very honest. And even HDFC Securities gives you that extra amount of information, research, fundamentals, and all those information that you require in order to start off as a beginner when you aren't very much experienced in investing. So that's about how to start and how to open a demat account. It's just simple. I mean, for people like us who are in the internet era, just follow the steps in the app when you're uh, doing it in Zerodha or something like that. They're going to be very clear about what they want you to do. Just do as they say, upload the documents, and it'll be ready in 2 or 3 days, I'm pretty sure, after payment of the fees. And as far as HDFC is concerned, you can do it online on the HDFC Bank website or HDFC Securities website, or you can walk into any of the banks and get it done. And it's going to be super smooth. It'll take like 1 or 2 days. And make sure you ask them to connect three things. That's your savings bank account, your KYC details, that's your mobile number basically with your Aadhaar, and your demat account. And if all three are connected, it's going to be very smooth because you get information on your mobile. You can trade from your mobile, and whatever you trade goes to your bank account, and whenever you need money, it comes directly from your bank account to the securities app. So there's one disadvantage in the apps like Zerodha or Upstocks, wherein you know you need to transfer the money manually from your bank account to here, and your bank might not be willing to do many transactions at a cheaper rate. So you might end up paying commission to the app and commission to the bank, withdrawal fees, deposit fees. It's going to be a lot of burden. So it's up to you to decide. And enough of this. And next, how to trade. So very interesting question. So everybody's like, I want to start off, I want to invest into the stock market, but then I don't know what to buy. I don't know when to buy. I don't know if it's the right time. So to give you a hint about what I'm saying, suppose you're into gaming. If I'm saying that, you can get a PS4 in the market right now at 5,000. You know if it's cheap or if it's expensive. But if you're going to go to a person like me who has zero hint about gaming, I wouldn't be able to say if it's cheap or expensive. At the same time, if you're things as simple as an air conditioner, for example, if you're going to walk up to a person who knows about ACs and you tell him that it's going to cost you 30,000, he might think that it's reasonable, provided the features of the AC are good enough. But for the same person, if you're going to say that the AC costs 80,000, 90,000, he'll be able to judge that's expensive. However, if I have no knowledge about how much an AC costs, and I'm coming straight from an ancient era to here into the city searching for ACs, even if he says 6,000, 7,000, I might be skeptical about the price and think that it's expensive. So How to trade is mainly a good knowledge, a good experience, and a good sense of market. When I say sense of market, it's as simple as knowing the market, knowing it in and out about the environment in the market, and just seeing the share price on a given particular day and guessing what is going to be your decision, what is the sense that you're getting, the gut feeling. And I'm going to be there here through your journey to help you get that gut feeling. So, next one, what is the most important tool that you need when you're trading? So, let me say it is the most simplest thing that you already have in your hands. That's called news, and news can be any news. Things as simple as a footballer, Ronaldo, not allowing the Pepsi or the Coke to be in his press conference can have a huge impact in the market. So anything, any news can impact. So why reading news is important for stock market? Because in an era where everything is digitalized and it's become in the way of a demat, you need to know that the moment you get some news, you are able to buy and sell in your respective demat account. And when you're able to do that, it takes you 1 second to make your decision. And the faster you make your decision, the more you're going to benefit. I'll give you a very good example. So today evening, as on I'm recording on 15th of July, today evening, I got a notification from ET Auto, Economic Times Auto. So I'll even go ahead and tell you where you're going to get your news and the sources. So Economics Auto, I got a notification from them saying that there's a 106% increase in the amount of sales quarter on quarter. So it just took me 1.5 minutes to judge which would be the company impacting the most. And I just went and bought their shares. And I expect the shares of that particular company to at least grow after their results. So if I would have made a delay of say 1 day, 2 days, if I was lethargic and see the news later, in those 2 days, billions of people in India would have already seen the news and they would have bought. And when you buy a share, the amount of shares, the volume, when I say, suppose there are 100 shares available, when more and more people buy, now you have only 20 shares available. Of course, the demand has gone up than the supply. And when the demand is high and the supply is low, the price is also going to increase. It's basic demand and supply. So to avoid the effect of demand and supply, you need to be fast. And the only way for you to be fast is news. So where exactly do you get this news? I personally follow 4 apps. So first one being Money Control. Let me write that down for you guys so that you can download. And all of them are available on Play Store. They're very, very popular apps. So the first one is Money Control. I'm sorry for the handwriting if it's not pretty legible, but I'm going to put down the apps and the links right below. The first one is Money Control. I'm going to take you through the app and even allow you to take a look at the app, get settled with the app, and teach you how to read the app. But we'll go around with it slowly. And the second one is In Shorts. So In Shorts is a very popular news reading app, but Money Control is limited to business news. In Shorts might not be related to business news, but business news is a part of In Shorts. And why I say In Shorts is it provides news in 60 words. Sorry for the typo. It provides news in 60 words, every news, 60, 70 words, and it gives you the link for the detailed news, and it provides news as fast as 1.5 minutes from the event of occurrence. So that's pretty good, I suppose. And the next one is Economic Times. So ET is, as it says, one of the best news apps for reading news related to business. And another source of information that I take is Economic Times Auto, which I already discussed about for auto stocks. Apart from this, if you're too much into Googling stuff about business, your Google knows what you're wanting. So the Google News that you read, I think most of us know about it. It's going to be related to stock market, and that's one big advantage of cookies, I suppose. So every time there's a news, it's just going to pop up on your screen, and you can just use the news and trade. I'm pretty sure at this point of time you're clueless about what exactly I'm talking, but I promise you to take slowly. Now, so the next topic that I'm going to talk about is which are stocks to buy. So there are a million of companies in India, of course, and which company do I own? So yeah, a perk of buying a share is you get ownership, as I told. So you own a company when you're going to buy the shares of a company. So now the problem comes is which stock do I buy? Even if I know that auto sector has grown by 106%, the huge companies, there are companies like Bajaj Auto, there are companies like Hero, there are Atul Auto. Atul Auto is much into India and export. So you might not have heard about it, but they have tremendous numbers. So there are three companies that are just listed in front of you. There's TVS, the fourth one, and you don't know which to buy. So how do you make a choice? And my suggestion for all the beginners is start with blue chips. So let me tell you what blue chips are. So blue chips aren't anything related to computers, so you don't need to panic. So yeah, blue chips are basically those stocks which are trustable. So they're 100+% trustable. When I say blue chips, these are the companies which have huge amount of interest of the Indian citizens or even investors abroad. So these are companies like HDFC, Tata, Birla. That's basically your Mahindra, and you have companies like Reliance, which is one of the most trustable companies, Bajaj. So all these names that you might have heard. So these blue chips make a promise to give dividend, make a promise to earn profits, and they do it until unless there's an extraordinary circumstance like the COVID, they always stand by their word. So we need to start off with blue chips. So the blue chips aren't going to make you rich overnight. They won't, you know, I mean that's what they're known for. They are least volatile. They don't fluctuate too much. So they keep themselves stable and in control, and they don't promise you a gain beyond 10% in a day. They don't promise you a loss below 10% a day. So you're going to be stuck in plus minus 10% in a day, and that's the worst case scenario. Generally it's 2 or 3% in your best on a day. So if you're getting 3% on a day, and also 3% on a day might sound lesser, 21 दिन में पैसा double नहीं हो सकता. But what you need to think about is you get 4.5-5% per year in a bank, and you're getting 4.5-5% in a week in stock market. Isn't it worth it? It's around, if you're going to compound, it's 80-85% per annum. So it's definitely worth it. So patience is the key. Now, what do I know? Which are the blue chips? Are there only 5 companies which are just named? No, of course not. So our stock exchanges, that's National Stock Exchange, Bombay Stock Exchange, basically they're the market, but now they're on internet and through apps we do it. You don't need to know about that. I'm sorry to get that up, but yeah, these have created indices like Nifty 50 and BSE has Sensex. So what is Nifty 50? I'm not going to explain you about Sensex, just give you a heads up about it. But what I want you all to know is Nifty 50. So Nifty 50 is an index. What do you mean by an index now? An index is basically a group of stocks which are, of course, blue chips, 50 stocks, 50 blue chip stocks, so Nifty 50. These are the 50 top stocks in India, the most stable, the most promising stocks, and these are the 50 blue chips in the stock market. This list is prepared by the stock exchange, and it's until there's a huge edit, and the edits basically removing a stock and replacing another stock in the list happens less than once in 4 or 5 years. So you don't need to worry about that. So as long as you're in the Nifty 50, you can trust the stock. That's what it means. It's fraud free. I can't say 100%. So don't come back to me saying you said fraud free and Adani has controversial issues. I'm not saying they're frauds, but still. What you need to know is you're secure 99%. So I'm going to run you through the stocks in Nifty 50 in a while from now. But these are the blue chip stocks that are going to, even if you put your money here, even if there's a worst case scenario like COVID, I'll just give you an example. HDFC Bank used to trade at 1,200 rupees in the month of February 2020. After COVID, let me write it down for you for the idea. So think this is the graph of HDFC Bank. Okay, the line is not straight. The graph of HDFC Bank. So this is 2020 and this is today. So HDFC Bank was at 1,200 and during February it touched 700 and it recovered back by 2020 December to 1,200 and today it is trading at 1,500, 1,500, 1,600 between that price. So the effect of blue chips is that in the long run, there's 100% guarantee that you're not going to suffer loss. Now, there are going to be exceptions about it. Now, this Nifty is classified into three things. So four things to be honest. So I just told you about one thing, which is Nifty 50. So there's another thing called Nifty mid cap, and there's another thing called Nifty small cap, and Nifty next 50. So let me not get into the details because as a beginner, I want you all to only focus on Nifty 50. But still, to give you a heads up and to solve your curiosity, Nifty mid cap is basically mid-sized company. Nifty 50 are huge companies, and Nifty small caps are small companies. Okay, small companies aren't small as in not 1 crore, 2 crore. They are thousands of crores worth, but then they're smaller compared to the big companies. And there's Nifty Next 50. Nifty Next 50 are the upcoming companies which have just got their IPOs and they have great potential. And 20 years down the line, they can get into the Nifty 50. So I solved one problem of yours, that is how to select a stock. When you're trading, trade in Nifty 50. And you might be tempted knowing that, there are other stocks that are growing 10, 15%, but they even fall 10, 15% on a bad day. So when you start with the blue chips, with Nifty 50, the advantage is you get experience. When you get experience over time, I'm pretty sure that you will be able to tackle the problem of not being able to guess how the market sense which explained initially. So you will be able to judge the right stock, to buy the right stock, and even outside Nifty 50, I mean. But for at least 4 to 5 months, stay in Nifty 50, trade only in the Nifty stocks until there's a very strong call about some other stock. Now, I reduced your burden to 50 stocks out of the billion stocks. I reduced your burden about scared of losing money. So being the blue chips, you're never going to lose